What's up guys, it's Eric here. This is a coaching video. If you're new to my channel, actually I do a decent number of these. So this is one of my students and this is a VOD review video. So I'm just going to watch a VOD of them playing and comment on any mistakes I see, anything I think they could do better, maybe even go more in depth talking about like certain habits that they might have that I'm seeing in the video. We checked the weather, Pog. I honestly never check that early because it doesn't really matter that early, but you know, it's never bad to. I would actually field the GP here over the Talon here. I'm really not that interested in playing Talon with a bow start. I'd be much more interested in holding on to this Ashe. Hopefully we pick her up here because she's actually a very, very good item holder of like Gwinsu here and potentially her nons. Oh, also I really, really like the bow start. I think that is a very nice item start. But yeah, you should definitely buy the Ashe with the 1 gold, but I would never hold Talon here over holding Ashe, but that's just like mostly how I like to play AD. So you don't hold Ashe here. I think you might be rating Ashe a little bit low. I think she's actually a very solid item holder, and also just you can often play Laser Core early with Duelist, which is often what you want to do from this spot. So here I'm looking at could very easily be a Duelist game. Yeah, I agree with selling the Jinx though. I don't care that much about this Lux, so it doesn't. I'm probably not gonna play this Lux, but definitely worth holding. Calculated loss and thrill look pretty good here. I tend not to like Aegis Crest early. I would first just check win rates for all these, so let's pull them up. I have this on the other monitor here, so it'll be awkward for anybody, but and it's okay. So Aegis Crest, yeah, as I thought, kind of terrible start. Calculated loss is actually pretty good early, and then I imagine thrill is like mediocre to bad. I do think thrill is still completely fine here. Calculated loss is just win rate wise the best one, but it doesn't really make sense with our start with the 2-star Lulu. Like this is a start that probably wants to play more for win streak unless you don't slam any items. So I would definitely go for thrill here. If you go for calculated loss, you might have to end up selling the Lulu here to actually end up making if you go calculated loss also, what are you playing here? Like you can obviously play it into like a Yumi board. I mean, we'd have the double GP. Okay, so I'm actually down here. I mean, first you should scout and see how contested Yumi is. But, I mean, this could be a Yumi game. The problem is no tier here. Like, I would only really take this if I want to. I mean, you can use it to get stronger. The awkward thing is, like, yeah, you'd really, really like to play this just with Yumi. You also hit a Yumi in your shop, but you haven't really hit anything else. I guess you could play Lulu reroll, which is something that I'm not super open to, but it'd be fine. But yeah, the problem here with, like, upgraded Lulu and Bruiser frontline is that, like, you might win some of these fights. Like, if I'm in this spot and I take this, I would normally only do this if I have tier so I can actually play for Yumi, but like theoretically you can get to Yumi items from here. I would just sell, make 10, build Yumi plus these 2 units, and then guarantee my loss and allow myself to roll for better stuff. And that's also only if Yumi is uncontested. But like, already, we see someone who's potentially, and they have Hearts Fat slammed and JG onto Yumi, they could very likely end up playing Yumi. We are going to end up losing this fight, which is really a big dub here. So very happy with this only 2-unit loss from a level 3 person, so that's really good. We get the free roll of calculated loss, but like, I guess the awkward thing about calculated loss in these spots is like, if we had like Vi2, like how are we losing anymore? You know, if we get Renekton 2 here, which like, you gotta make, right? You can't like not make upgrades and okay. And then we should buy out the rest of our shop and reroll here. Okay, and so you're gonna go for the full, okay. And so like, in a spot like this, I definitely think Yumi can end up being an AP item holder. It can be good. Ideally, and I think you just sort of end up running out of time. I mean, I guess you can't make, because you could sell, I mean, you could sell Renekton Lulu here, play Yumi here, and make 10 still. That's ideal, but we sort of ran out of time because it took a little while for us to roll. I mean, I like playing for the loss here. I would definitely hold the Yumi pair. So yeah, could be Yumi game. The problem is, it looks like we're at least one way contested, and also the items are a bit sus. Yeah, I have the Zoe and Vel'Koz too for sure. This could definitely be really strong additions to our comp with the Lulu 2-star already. Renekton, almost like, if this was last patch, I'd be like, oh, this could have been like an Ashe reroll game, but I don't think Ashe reroll is that much of a comp right now, so I'm not a big fan. But yeah, like, here's the issue with playing a strong enough board. I mean, yeah, we're gonna win this fight. There's no way they can kill it. But yeah, like, also Yumi, like, the spot for Yumi looks pretty awful here, just because it looks like it's at least 2-way contested. So yeah, like, now we lose our loss streak because we're playing like a strong board because calculated loss gives us the upgrades. Okay. We should also figure out items here. We have a lot of AP item holders here. I wouldn't feel that bad about like Giant Slayer, Ionic Slam, or take a tier here. Like we have all these 2-star AP units, so we don't really want to build AD items. Obviously like Ionic Static Shiv is pretty awkward, so I'd be pretty happy with. I think the tier's fine, and then go for Ionic Slam probably. I wouldn't think like Winsu or Nons or anything, but yeah, like with all of these units that we have here, 2-star Lulu, potentially 2-star Yumi. Oh my god. Okay, so now you obviously just play for win streak, and then it's a bit awkward, but yeah. I mean, with Yumi this contested, I don't feel great about playing around Yumi reroll. I like this a lot, making the Yumi 2-star. Okay, I was thinking about just potentially making the Yumi 2-star on bench. You're guaranteed to lose, but like you have to scout around to see if that's a good play. But yeah, like this looks like a great start for Yumi reroll. The problem is like in this, I think it's a gold elo game, and so I imagine that's just more the nature of gold elo. But like I imagine Yumi's like turbo contested in these types of lobbies. So I would do another scout here. It looks like you're in the Yumi reroll variant where you play Lulu as well, which I think makes a good amount of sense. We have 4 Lulus already. Oh my god, you're not gonna sell Yumi, are you? Okay, this is fine. I wouldn't sell Lee Sin yet. If we lose this fight, aren't you holding on to Lee Sin here? I guess you can sell the Nasus as well and just play for strongest board. Okay, so it looks like you're actually just going to play. I mean, I think you could have actually played for a win streak here. But it's not like leveling for Nasus does that much. But I'm surprised you stay level 4 here. And there should also just be a lot more scouting going on here. Because like, if we can level and win, it's really nice. The Annie for sure. Lee Sin's good as well. But yeah, okay. So it looks like we're just playing a strong. Also, if we want to like actually play for win streak, we should have slammed some items. Ionic Spark should have been slammed. I mean, it's fine if you're playing for loss streak, not slamming items, but like after we win those 2 fights and it looks like we're playing more for win streak, I think slamming Ionic makes a lot more sense. Okay. Enim's a bit awkward here. Lee Sin pair is amazing. Like I really liked Ionic Slam. The problem is then what are we doing with these 2 bows? RFC Yumi is funny, but not that great late game. Like the double bows make me want to play maybe for something else. I mean, it almost looks like a Jax game. We just don't have any of the Jax units yet, and it's really kind of tough to get there. But like RFC, and then like potentially a Gargoyles for frontline, or maybe like a Protector's Bout for like RFC BT Gwinsu looks amazing Jax item wise. So keep an eye out in case we like high roll Jax or anything. But like right now, it definitely looks like we're on just an AP. Oh my god, okay. We're gonna hyper roll here, so it looks like we are playing around Yumi. In which case, yeah, I'm curious about some of how we played this early game. It seems just a little sort of like, oh, we skipped a Malphite there over holding an extra Lulu. This is part of my issue with like rolling for Lulu in this comp as well. Is that she just clogs your bench up so much. Like I think the only way you can play Lulu in this comp is if you hit Lulu 3 like ridiculously early. We did end up hitting Lulu finally. We still don't have any items slammed, but it's okay. We won this fight. All good. All right, and oh my god, we actually. I rolled the fact that we hit Guardian Spirit here, because if we hit either 3/3 here augment here, or we don't hit here augment here, it's actually really bad. It should always be Guardian Spirit. Smash is like pretty terrible, I would say. The augment just do enough. And Guardian Spirit's like insane value here. But the other problem is that this comp is really contested, right? I mean, at least we're playing into Lulu, so it's a little bit more reasonable. Also, like, okay, so now that we know that we're playing for Lulu, our items become a little bit less awkward, actually, because Titans becomes a very reasonable slam onto GP, assuming we can hit GP 3-star. Then we still want blue buff, probably. We don't really want to slam Renons. I guess you could even end up going like Gargoyles, RFC. But I think it should just be Titans on GP. And then the rest of the item slams are a bit awkward. But it is a reroll comp, so like greeting for best in slot items is fine. Also, like, you're so healthy. I have so many games where I'm playing Yumi where I'm like 50 HP right here, so like 86. I don't feel too much pressure to build all of my items here. I would just build something though. This is, I don't know if, I guess we'll see in your second game as well. We actually win this fight, Lamau. But like, it feels really bad that you're this, like you have this many items on bench. Also, we just did the Malphite in shop, but we still don't have Malphite in, right? Like surely Malphite should be played over GP here, because we're playing down to hero augment, and we had to play 4 mascot here. Whereas like, what's GP actually doing on our board? Our board could be 10 times stronger if we just played Malphite here. And obviously keeping the Malphite in the orb is good to increase our chance of hitting. Wow, this person has a strong board. I wonder what their admin is, but the Jacks too. I mean, they rolled it. They're 7. Okay, I mean, we're always losing this fight, right? I mean, like, look at their econ. I mean, 4-cost blue buff looks amazing here. And we can even still... It's so funny that there's 3 heroes on that carousel, and they're all on 4-cost, right? At least 2 of them are. Okay. So you send blue buff here, and the other question I have with this comp, when you play the Lulu variation, because I haven't played it too much, but I'm always stuck between, like, do I itemize Lulu here, or do I itemize Yumi? Okay, we finally got this in, which I like a good bit. Get the free roll for Nessus, which is nice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is supposed to be Lulu. You go RFC. RFC Lulu's not great, I would say. I tend to really hate RFC. On units like Lulu that cast a lot, the idea is that, like, you want RFC on a unit that is just only going to auto-attack. See, like, in this fight, we stacked RFC 12 times. Like, imagine this RFC was on a Jax instead, then we're probably autoing, like, 20 times, maybe more. It was a relatively short fight, though. But, like, you really... Like, the combination of RFC blue buff tends to be really bad. I sort of get the idea with, like, the Malphite augment, like, sort of like the infinite stacking, and you did have to get rid of these components. But I would more prefer it become, like, Giant Slayer Titans than Guinsoo here. So you build, like, Titans Resolve and then wait. You could even, if you build Titans Resolve, end up building Ionic Spark, but I would save the Rod for an item. But yeah, I really don't like RFC on any unit with blue buff, really. Just because, like, yeah, you think about what RFC is actually doing. We can slow roll a bit here. Also, I'm noticing something, like, you're playing this reroll comp. We really haven't scouted that much. I saw early it looked like a few people might angle Yumi, but it's also, like, very possible that people look like they're angling Yumi and then pivot and play a different comp. These are interesting items, actually. We already have the blue buff slam. We don't need another mana item. We should pick this up. But, I mean, it doesn't really matter what it is. Oh, and this is going to be really awkward as well. You probably want to go level 6 here just so you have more bench space. You have to hold this GP. The other option is to sell Lee Sin and not make Lee Sin, not get close to Lee Sin too. Because you are really close to, like, everything here, except for Galio. Oh, it's GP and Galio. Okay, so you probably have to, and, like, this is stuff that you have to do very quickly. So, like, I can pause and talk through it, but obviously, like, I understand if you make a mistake here. But yeah, like, now our Lulu items are so awkward. I don't really want to put any of these items on anyone else. Like, I guess you could do something. Like, GS feels really good here, I would say. But then you're left with Archangels on, like, Yumi. Like, I really want to build Static Shiv. I guess you go Static Shiv Gunblade, but you're getting so much healing here. I think it's got to be, like, GS. Or even, like, Archangels GS. But anyway, yeah, I don't think you never sell Nasus here. You just sell this Lee Sin, and then I would level up here and then buy both of these units. By leveling up, you get an extra slot on your board, so you can actually hold this. Yeah, I don't hate selling Yumi there, especially because you're playing the Lulu variation. I don't think it's that bad. There's Nasus 3 as well. Okay, level for Nasus for sure. Okay, we didn't have time to level for Nasus, but that's all right. Okay, we're actually going to roll a bit here more for Galio. I think you just level for Nasus here, and then you either give up on finding Galio, or you just say that I'm going to find him on level 6. Because it's pretty unlikely that... I mean, it's just like having a 3 cost on your bench feels bad. But yeah, really nice that we hit the hero augment there. You can take Mascot Heart here, which feels amazing. Okay, we're still rolling here. I tend not to like rolling for just one unit. I would much rather just push level here and then roll for Galio on level 6, and then we can also roll for Malphite 3 and Lee Sin 3. So I think you're a little bit tunnel visioned on finding the Galio here, which hurts. I mean, it just hurts your rolls, right? Because you only need 4 Galios. It's pretty reasonable that you find it at level 6. But now we're rolling down all of our gold at level 5, and we're still not playing Nasus 2, which makes our board like 50 times weaker than it actually should be, right? Like, if we had Nasus in here, we win so many more fights, or at least kill a bunch of units. Oh, the other thing I want to bring up, I don't like Lulu in the corner. So the way this unit works is that she fires a beam that's, I believe, 4 hexes long, and if it hits a unit, it'll, I mean, either way, it'll keep going. So what happens is, there's Malphite 2 at least, nice. But yeah, I really don't like rolling on 5 here. If only for the fact that it's, okay, we're on off Galio 3, so we might finally get the payoff for sitting this low. The rolling's not too slow. We skipped a Yumi there, which kind of blows. Yeah, but relatively quick rolling. But yeah, so what happens is she fires this, so it's like 4 hexes long. Imagine if she's like frontlined here, like obviously not like frontline, but like second row or third row. what can happen is she can fire it and it can go through this unit and then hit a second unit. So if like Yumi's like where GP is, she'll actually hit both of these units. If she's here and then there's a unit 1 hex above, she'll hit like this unit and this unit. So I really like putting Lulu third row or second row so that she can actually hit more units with her ultimate. Kind of a big diff. Okay, but now like we've lost a lot of HP here. And we still haven't stabilized on 6. There's a Nunu on Carousel, but I don't even really care that much about it. I just want to finish my items here. We have Rod and Tier, right? I think Redemption's an insanely good item in any reroll comp. The way Redemption works is that it heals a % of your HP, so the more HP you have, the better Redemption is. It looks like we'll go for Glove here. What's Glove for here? Like a GP item, I guess? Hodge or JG? I mean, I think both of those are fine GP items, but I really want to focus on getting a tank item here. Also, like, especially because we just hit Galio 3. There's a Yumi and Malphite in those orbs. We didn't have to break that orb open. Okay, so we're prioritizing JG on GP. I don't think it's that important. I think I would definitely look at finishing tank items here. But yeah, like, our Lulu in this position is never going to hit more than 1 unit with her ult. Or if she does, it's like, because somehow their units walked up into a row for us. But yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. Okay. So it looked like Yumi ended up contested, but actually playing the Lulu angle, I mean, it looks like Yumi, I don't know if anyone else actually played Yumi reroll. Because like the fact that we hit Galio 3, Malphite 3, or not Malphite 3, but Galio 3, Nasus 3, and GP 3 suggests to me that like maybe it wasn't actually that contested, which is what happens. Like sometimes people will play it in the opener and then decide to get out of it because they think you have a better spot for it, or just because they were just playing it for the opener. That's why I think like scouting is so important when you're going to play a reroll comp like this, and we barely scouted at all this game. Like you really want to be looking at other people in the lobby and judging, okay, are they playing Yumi, are they not playing Yumi? Because if they are playing Yumi, you might have to just pivot into a different comp. If they're not playing Yumi, then you feel a lot better. Or, you know, in this case, it's more like Lulu reroll, which I just watched the video from Mort's stream actually, where he said in China, everyone's talking about Lulu reroll, which like I haven't watched any Chinese Lulu reroll VODs, but like I could believe it's good. Let's just blue buff Titans GP, ideally, best case world. Yeah, I can't go Titans. Blue buff static Shiv? Ugh, it's kind of annoying. It really wants to be blue buff GP. What are the other options here? Chalice seems pretty bad. Archangels. I guess it's just blue buff and static Shiv. Renan's is terrible, and so is Gwinsu. I guess blue buff static Shiv, and then you go static Shiv GP? You don't have any MR shred, right? Yeah, it's a bit awkward. But I think it does have to be blue buff static Shiv. Okay, I like this a lot. Beautiful. You have level here, but there's nothing to level for. The problem here, we rolled so much at 5. We're so far from hitting Malphite and from Lee Sin 3. So it's probably just a push levels spot. Like we probably don't need to Hippo sit at level 6 and roll for 3 stars. Because we're just so far away. Also, like, because of the Malphite hero augment, because of like us having so much frontline and the mascots, like I really think it's completely fine to put Lulu on like 2nd or 3rd row. Obviously you have to change your positioning a little bit for it. But yeah, like even something like this, positioning like this, and then putting Lulu 3rd or 2nd row, I think is completely fine. Because like imagine if Lulu's here and then she's autoing here and then she can ult through and hit LeBlanc here, or if she's autoing here and can ult through and hit like 2 units here. Like also hitting Jax is so big. But since she's here, like she's gonna ult and she's always just gonna hit the edge. Like, I don't think she can even, yeah, she's always just hitting the edge of her ult, which keeps her safe, but it means that she's never maximizing her damage. So next time you play Lulu, I definitely think about going for that positioning, just putting her a little bit further up. Obviously you can only, okay, so we are gonna roll at 6 here. You definitely buy the Malphite, right? I would think about pushing levels in this spot. I don't think it's horrible to roll here, but I think we're so far off Malphite and Lee Sin that I would prefer to just push levels from this spot. We're win streaking though. Our board is, I guess, good enough to win streak in this lobby, which is funny. It's like, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, a really nice hero augment in this spot. Okay, end up losing here. I mean, definitely. What? Okay, so why are we rolling if we're not holding Malphite? That doesn't make any sense to me. Think item here. The only real one got taken. Like, I guess guard. I mean, these are horrible. I guess Chalice. Chalice is like the only thing that does literally anything on your board. Chalice the least sin, I guess. Okay, so I'm not really sure what that rolling at 6 was. You can put a Brawler in here. Oh yeah, I like Acel here. Oh, I don't really think you have to roll this deep. I think we've seen... Oh yeah, I love this. And then Chalice there. I think we've seen, based on our fights, that this lobby is pretty weak. You could just sit at 7 with the Acel. You don't even have to roll anymore. Like, yeah, the board is fine. I mean, I guess you might be trying to play for, like, a top 4, top 2 situation, but, like, I guess the question is, what are you rolling for here? You always have to think about, like, what you're actually rolling for here. Echo's a cool, nice unit, and if we get, like, Alistar in, yeah, we could potentially, get Aegis in, but we have to do that at level 8. Like, we can't add Alistar to this board. So, yeah, you really want to push level 8 here and potentially get 8 Mascot in. End up losing this fight. Because now it's pretty tough for us to push 8 here. We're never going to lose the game, that fight. So wouldn't you rather just push 8 at 4-1? And then best case scenario, we actually hit Mascots? I mean, I really like the Vel'Koz. I love playing the Vel'Koz Splash. I think that's very smart. I think, yeah, he's one of the best units that you can just slot into a comp with hero synergies, because, I mean, he's a threat. I would sell the Sonas, too. Rolling that for potential 4 heart? I don't think it's worth. This really wants to be a tank item for, yeah, we're still rolling here. These rolls could easily have been at 8, and we could have, like, at worst case, we could have Galio plus Echo in here. But yeah, you're never going to hit any, like, substantial upgrade. I mean, yeah, I don't see any. And we have this item on bench. Please crack it. TG's pretty good. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Ooh, I would never put it there, though. Let's leave this for more than a second, though. I think Redemption and Protector's Vow are both amazing. If you're taking TG, I think it's fine. You just put it on Nasus. I'd probably rather go, especially in this matchup, though. Like, I know you have very little time, but you see the enemy has a Talia. Redemption is insanely good versus Talia because all of her damage is AoE. So just grab Redemption and slap it on Lee Sin or Galio would be really nice. Protector's Vow would also be really good for Galio. And TG, I think, is okay, but it's no on Nasus. I would say he uses the items way better. He's also just a 3-star unit. Looks like we're dead here, though. It's a 4th? Seems. Maybe it could be a top 3, actually. That guy dies. Oh, it's a 3rd. Not bad. We take those. Okay. So, yeah, I think the biggest things this game, the biggest errors that I think may be indicative of something bigger in your play is, like, all of these items sitting on bench is just... We should have some items slammed at this point, especially after we win, too. If you're 5 loss here, I'm okay not building items so that you continue loss streaking. But the fact that we, like... The fact that we win 2 fights here and then still don't slam items is very strange to me. I think there should be a lot more scouting going on because you're playing a reroll comp and just in general so that you make sure that you're not contested, because we could have been very easily, like, turbo contested this game. And it would have been a huge problem. Looks like we didn't end up contested, so that's kind of lucky. High rolled hero augment, which is really, really nice. I generally agree with augment picks. Like I said, I think calculated loss from our spell was a little awkward. We ended up getting a lot of value out of it, so I think it's fine. But yeah, like, holding all these items on bench for so long was really rough. And then I think we spent a lot of gold just rolling at weird timings. I think this is something that a lot of people who are below, like, Master Tier, GM, like, especially even, like Diamond and below, make, is that they just roll it in really weird situations, where, like, it's just not very efficient to roll. You're not really getting much out of your roll here. Like, rolling at level 5 here as opposed to rolling at level 6. Instead of rolling for Yumi and Lee Sin and Malphite, we end up rolling just for Galio here because, like, it's much more likely that we're going to hit 1 cost. I know we can hit 1 and 2 costs, but I would much rather roll primarily for 2 costs at 6, and then for Galio if we also hit him at 6, as opposed to just rolling at level 5 and, like, not hitting any 2 costs, really. So, like, this situation, and then the other situation late game as well, where we just rolled so much at 7, and there was also some rolling at 6 that didn't really make any sense, but then also just rolling all this at 7. I think you got afraid, because you took, like, a bad loss, but, like, I mean, you're never dead here. It's just, you're 26 HP. I don't know why we're rolling it so deep here, as opposed to just saving our gold and going 8. And then if we go 8, we can potentially get in 6 Mascot if we high roll. If not, we can just get in an Alistar plus Echo and get the Aegis in, which is also really good. Oh, and the other big thing, it's like a mistake, but it's like, it's just like knowledge based. It's hard for you to, like, know in the moment, is the Lulu positioning. I really don't like Lulu in the corner just because she almost never gets full value out of her ultimate. You have to be very careful because if you put her too far up and then the enemy has a strong front line, they just shred yours. She doesn't get value because she's dead. but I think in this spot, Lulu further up would make a lot more sense. Oh, and lastly, Gwinsu. Gwinsu on units that cast a lot, or that they're casting a long time, is kind of a no-no. The nice thing about Lulu is at least her casts are pretty quick, but still, like, you see, like, we're capping out at maybe 20 stacks in a fight, whereas, like, the reason why Gwinsu is so good on a unit like Jax is because Jax doesn't have a spell. All he does is auto attack. Similar thing with, like, Yone last set. Gwinsu's really good on Yone because he doesn't have a spell. All he does is auto attack. So units that all they do are auto attack, or they just auto a lot and then have a spell that either amps their auto attack or, yeah, like another unit is like Felios, who like really just wants to auto a lot. Like Gwinsu is all right on him. Ashe is a unit where, you know, once again, her spell, you know, it just takes a fraction of a second for her to cast, and she's all about the auto attack. Like those are units that really like Gwinsu. Units with long cast times or that cast frequently don't really like it, because every time you cast, you're losing stacks that you could potentially have off Gwinsu's if you're a unit that didn't cast. But yeah, that's gonna do it for the VOD review. Hope you enjoyed. Hope everyone on YouTube enjoyed as well. As always, if you are interested in coaching, check out the link to my meta fights in the description down below, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!